Let's take one example on convolution sum. Find the convolution of two sequences x of n and h of n, where x of n is equal to 1 when n is in between 0 and 4 and its value is 0 otherwise. H of n is equal to alpha power n when n is in between 0 and 6, 0 otherwise. Here we'll assume that alpha is greater than 1. This is the given waveform for x of n and h of n. Here x of n value is 1 when n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. When n is greater than 4, the value of x of n is 0. Similarly, when alpha value is greater than 1, we'll get exponentially rising signal. So here for n equal to 0, we'll get the amplitude of the signal as 1. When n is 1, the amplitude of the signal will be alpha. When n is 2, alpha power 2. So likewise we'll get rising exponential signal, and it exists only between 0 to 6. We know that the convolution between two signal is calculated using the formula y of n is equal to summation k varies from minus infinity to infinity x of k dot h of n minus k. So now we'll try to plot x of k and h of n minus k signal. I will assume that this is x of k. X of k signal can be obtained by x of n just by replacing n by k. Therefore, this n will become k now, and the remaining all samples will be as it is. At 0, its amplitude is 1. At 1, its amplitude is 1. At 2, its amplitude is 1. At 3, its amplitude is 1. And at 4, its amplitude is 1. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Its magnitude is 1. Now similarly, h of k, will plot h of k signal. Let this be h of k. The time axis will be k here now. We are changing. H of k is obtained by just replacing n by k. The remaining signal exists as it is. So here I will show x of k signal. This is at n equal to 1, at n equal to 2, say at n equal to 3, say at n equal to 4, at n equal to 5, and at n equal to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And its value is 0 when k is greater than 6. Now we'll try to plot h of n minus k signal. Now h of n minus k signal is obtained by taking reflection of h of k signal. That is at n equal to 0, say its magnitude is this one, and the sample which exists at k equal to 1 will appear at k equal to minus 1. So we'll take the reflection of that. So this is h of n minus k signal, and here we can observe that at the, as this is the k axis, the sample which exists at k equal to 0 is nothing but n, and the sample which exists here will be n minus 6. That is, we'll call this sample as n, and the last sample will be n minus 6. Now first we'll find the convolution between x of k and h of n minus k when n value is less than 0. Say this is h of n minus k when n is less than 0. When n is less than 0 means we have to shift this h of n minus k signal towards left. So somewhere I will start from here. One sample, this is second sample, this is third sample, this is fourth sample, this is fifth sample, and this is sixth sample. Rest all values are 0. So now here we can observe that when h of n minus k is shifted left, the first sample, that is this one, will be n, and the last sample, this will be n minus 6. So now we'll perform the convolution between x of k and h of n minus k when n is less than 0. That is, so now we'll consider case 1 where n is less than 0. So here we can observe that y of n is equal to summation k varies from minus infinity to infinity x of k h of n minus k. That is, when n is less than 0, here we can observe that in h of n minus k there exist few samples when n is less than 0. In x of k there is no any samples when n is less than 0. There is no overlap between 0 portions of x of k with h of n minus k. Therefore, multiplying this 0 with these samples will be 0 itself. Therefore, y of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0. So now we'll consider the case 2 when n value is less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to 0. Let this be h of n minus k signal when n is less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to 0. Now we'll assume that this n point is head end of h of n minus k and n minus 6 is tail end of h of n minus k. If we consider n is equal to 1, then this head end will shift towards right by one position, that is this head end, that is n, will appear here. This will be n. When n is equal to 2, it will become h of 2 minus k. Then this head end will shift to n equal to 2. When n is equal to 3, it will shift, this head end n will shift to 3 and so on. Now I should make n value either less than 4 or equal to 4. So somewhere here I will show, that is head end of h of n minus k, this is n. The next sample is this one, it will appear here. The next sample will appear here and so on. So this is n minus 1, 2, 3, 4. This is n minus 5 and this will be n minus 6, that is tail end of h of n minus k. Now here we can observe that only the samples which exist between 0 to n will overlap with h of k signals, and only those signals will be multiplied with h of k. Therefore, now I can write y of n as that is x of k is multiplied with h of n minus k will be equal to, we know that h of n is alpha power n. Here n is replaced by n minus k, so it is alpha power n minus k for k less than or equal to 4, greater than or equal to 0, and its value is 0 otherwise. So therefore now I can write y of n is equal to summation k varies from only the samples which exist between 0 to n will overlap with h of k, and only those will be multiplied. Therefore, the summation varies from k equal to 0 to k equal to n, that is k equal to n, it will be alpha power n minus k. Now we'll try to simplify this expression. Let n minus k is equal to r. So now we'll try to change the limits. When k is 0, then definitely r will be equal to n, and when k is equal to n, then r will be equal to 0. Therefore I can represent it as y of n is equal to summation. Here k is varies from 0 to n. I am using the different variable, that is r. Here r is will be varying from 0 to n, that is 0 to n, that is alpha n minus k is nothing but r, alpha power r. So now using finite sum formula, we can write y of n is equal to 1 minus alpha power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. So this is the value of y of n signal when n value is in between 0 to 4. Now we'll consider case 3. When n is greater than 4 and n minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. So now we'll try to plot h of n minus k for this condition, that is n is greater than 4 but n minus 6 is less than or equal to 4. Here we can observe that, as I said, let this be head end of h of n minus k, that is point n. So when n is greater than 4 means we supposed to shift this point which is crosses 4, that is greater than 4. Now assume that this is something the fourth point, that is say this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and this is 4. Now we supposed to push or move this signal h of n minus k which crosses this 4. So from here I will start. This is my first sample, this will be second sample, this will be my third sample, this will be my fourth sample, this will be my fifth sample, this will be my sixth sample, and this will be my seventh sample. Here now we can observe that this point will be n and this point will be n minus 6. Now here we can say that n is greater than 4 and n minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. Now when we do the convolution between, now if you perform the convolution between this h of n minus k and x of k signal, here x of k signal exists only for k equal to 0 to 4. Only these samples will overlap with h of n minus k signal. It means that when we perform the convolution between these two, the samples which lies between 0 to 4 will overlap with h of n minus k. Therefore, I can write y of n equation as y of n is equal to x of k, h of n minus k will be equal to alpha power n minus k for n greater than 4. Here n minus 6 less than or equal to 6 means n is less than or equal to 6. That is n is less than or equal to 6 and its value is 0 otherwise. So now therefore I can write y of n is equal to k is equal to 0 to 4 alpha power n minus k. Summation k is equal to 0 to 4. I can write it as alpha power n alpha power minus k. Here alpha power n is constant. I will take out of the summation. Alpha power n summation k is equal to 0 to 4. It can be represented as alpha inverse raised to k. Now I can further simplify of y of n as alpha power n. Now by applying finite sum formula, I can simplify this as 1 minus alpha inverse raised to n plus 1. N is 4 here. That is 4 plus 1 is 5 divided by 1 minus alpha inverse. As alpha power n minus alpha power n minus 5 divided by 1 minus alpha inverse. Now I'll consider case 4. When n is greater than 6 and n minus 6 is less than or equal to 4. That is nothing but n is less than or equal to 10. Now we'll try to plot h of n minus k signal for n greater than 6 and n minus 6 is less than or equal to 4. Let this be h of n minus k and this is k axis. Now as I said, this is head end of h of n minus k and this is tail end of h of n minus k. When n is greater than 6 means we supposed to shift this head end beyond 6 on k axis. That is, suppose this is 0, say 1, 2, 3, say 4, 5 and 6. So we supposed to shift this h of n minus k beyond this 6. So now somewhere after 6 I will shift this h of n minus k. Let the n sample will come here. The next sample will be here. The next sample will be here. That is, this is n. This is n minus 1 sample, n minus 2 sample, n minus 3 sample. This is n minus 4 sample. This is n minus 5 sample and this is n minus 6 sample. So this is my n minus 6 sample. Here we can observe that n is greater than 6 and n minus 6 is less than 4. So now if we perform the convolution between x of k and this h of n minus k, we can see that only the signals which lies between n minus 6 to 4 will be convolved with x of k. That is, only those samples will multiply, rest all values will be 0 because only those samples will overlap with x of k. That is, n minus k to 4 samples will overlap with x of k samples. Therefore, the limit of summation is, lower limit is n minus k and the upper limit is 4. Therefore, we can write it as x of k h of n minus k is equal to alpha power n minus k. K is less than or equal to 4 and greater than or equal to n minus 6. Therefore, y of n is equal to summation k varies from n minus 6 to 4 alpha power n minus k. Now I will try to bring it to standard form. Let k minus n plus 6 is equal to r. So now when k is equal to n minus 6, r value will be equal to 0, and when k is equal to 4, then r value is 10 minus n. R is equal to 10 minus n. Therefore, I will rewrite y of n as y of n is equal to summation. Now the lower limit is r is equal to 0, upper one is 10 minus n alpha power, here n minus k, that is n minus k is nothing but 6 minus r 6 minus r. It can be simplified as summation r is equal to 0 to 10 minus n alpha power 6 into alpha power minus r. So this can be further represented as, I'll take alpha power 6 outside the summation as it is constant, 0 to 10 minus n alpha inverse raised to r. This can be simplified using finite sum formula. That is, finite sum formula, when it begins, when the lower limit is 0, can be represented as, say, Sn is equal to 1 minus r power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus r, as y of n is equal to, here alpha power 6 is constant, take it, write it as it is. So now here we have r is equal to 0, 10 minus n. This 10 minus n is nothing but n. So I can represent it as 1 minus r is nothing but alpha inverse raised to n plus 1. That is, here n is nothing but 10 minus n plus 1. That is nothing but 11 minus n divided by 1 minus alpha inverse. So now further I can simplify this as, here at denominator side we have 1 minus alpha inverse. Alpha inverse is nothing but 1 upon alpha. I will take that alpha on numerator, it will become alpha raised to 7. I'll make it alpha raised to 7 and I'll simplify this further as 1 minus alpha raised to minus 11. So this can be represented as alpha power n minus 11 divided by, this will be alpha minus 1. Further I can simplify this as y of n is equal to alpha power 7 minus alpha power n minus 4 divided by alpha minus 1. So this can be further represented as alpha power n minus 4 minus alpha power 7 divided by 1 minus alpha. This is expression of y of n when n is. Now we'll consider case 5. That is when the interval, that is n minus 6, is greater than 4. So here we can observe that, as I said, this is head end of h of n minus k, and n minus 6, this is tail end of h of n minus k. Now we supposed to shift this h of n minus k towards right such that n minus 6, that is this n minus 6 sample, this should be more than 4. That is, now assume that this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So beyond 4 we supposed to shift this tail end of the h of n minus 6, that is this n minus 6 sample. Now I will represent here, the remaining samples will be represented like this. So now here we can observe that this will be n minus 6 and this will be head end of h of n minus 6, that is n. So now if you perform the convolution between x of k and this h of n minus k, here x of k exists only for k equal to 0 to 4, but here in h of n minus k, for k equal to 0 to 4, its value is 0. So now if you perform the convolution by multiplying x of k samples with these values, it will be 0. Therefore now we can say y of n is equal to 0 for n minus 6 greater than 4, or it is n is greater than 10. Summary of y of n is as follows. That is, y of n is equal to 0 for n is less than 0, and its value is 1 minus alpha power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha when n is less than or equal to 4, greater than 0, and it is alpha power n minus 4 minus alpha power n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha when n is less than or equal to 6 and greater than 4, and its value is alpha power n minus 4 minus alpha power 7 divided by 1 minus alpha when n is less than or equal to 10 but greater than 6, and its value is 0 if n is less than 10. So this is the required y of n when we perform the convolution between x of n and given h of n. Thank you for watching.